name is Tanya Powley and I'm a personal finance reporter at the Financial Times. I think the best thing for PRs in terms of when they're trying to pitch me a story is actually really knowing your audience. So you're knowing that I work at the FT, that we have a certain target audience in terms of our readership. And it's always good to actually know exactly what patch I cover. Like I cover mortgages and property. Don't be pitching me stuff from, pensions or, credit card insurance or like travel insurance. That's just not what we're going to cover. So it's just to really know exactly what we're after.
My name is Laura Shannon and I work for the Mail on Sunday as a personal finance correspondent. I would advise PRs to keep it brief and to the point. I'd like to know what the actionable messages are for when they want to pitch an idea. I just want to know what it's about, what we can do to help our readers, so what the key messages are. I think some of the mistakes maybe that PRs make when they contact me would be keeping it a bit too familiar when I don't even know them very well, talking about the weather, talking around a subject when I really just want to get down to why they're calling.
I think the best way to contact me and like to talk with PRs tends to be via email. Phone calls are fine if it's something very urgent and an exclusive story, but when it comes to actually just ringing me up to tell me that you've sent me a press release and then going into basically telling me what the press release is, I just don't have time for that. We're quite busy, we need to work fast. So emails, I'm on the emails all the time, so I always know what's happening. Even when I'm out of the office, that's the best way.
My preferred method of engaging with PRs would be email. I don't mind chatting on the phone, but it does help to have it in writing as a follow-up, just what we covered on the phone.
I think social media has transformed the way that personal finance reporters work because we're constantly on Twitter. A lot of my stories recently are being found just from people tweeting. We find case studies via Twitter now. I mean, it's just the way that it's such a fast, evolving world that's kind of the way we keep on top of things, and you just actually know instantly what's happening.
To be honest, social media hasn't had much of an effect on my day-to-day activities at the Mail on Sunday. We do keep an eye on it. We are all on Twitter, we use Facebook, but it's not informing our pieces as much as perhaps on other newspapers because it's not our key audience. The most bizarre story that's been pitched to me, I don't think it was from a PR, but somebody did offer me a critique of my own news story as an exclusive written by a special correspondent.
I think one of the most bizarre stories I've ever had pitched to me is probably something not even in the personal finance realm. I've been pitched a story about a aubergine festival in the countryside, and that's a case of obviously the PR exactly not knowing what I write about, and it was just a bit odd. I think my favourite thing about my job is just how different it is every day. There's no average day in the newsroom. You could be writing about sort of the Help to Buy the government scheme at the moment, and the next day you'll be writing about what's happening to agricultural farmland, or which investment you should be looking at, what's happening to the price of gold. It really does range, so you find it yourself, there's just every day is different, and that's kind of what really excites me about being a journalist.
I think completing an article that I'm proud of is one of the best aspects of my job. So having put the words together myself, engaged with a case study, interviewed an expert who's taught me something new that I didn't know last week, and seeing it all come together and feeling that satisfaction.